The Chicago Bears just got a really unexpected boost. And with the season that we've been through this year as fans, it's really nice just to get some reinforcement that the future is in fact bright. And one indication to that, it's whether your team is a preferred destination. And before I fully get into that, I have a question for you. Who is a player who you'd like the Chicago Bears to pursue this offseason? Is it like an offensive lineman, a guy you've had your eye on, like the Chiefs' Trey Smith? Let us know in the comments. So, moving on, the player that I'm talking about is Keenan Allen, and he just made the future feel just a bit brighter. He just said that absolutely he wants to be back next season. And this is a worthwhile exchange between Allen and a reporter in the Bears locker room. This is to hear from Allen. You take it for what it is, honestly. And this was on Thursday. It's a new start for me, a new position in a new place. After talking with DJ today, he wants me to run it back, so we'll see. Then he was asked if he wants to run it back with the Bears. He added, yeah, absolutely. So what does this do? I think it opens up a ton of things for next year. We're also hearing that his value extends way past his time on the grass as a player. And from the Bears side of things, there's two ways to look at this, I think. For starters, Allen, absolutely an incredible player, ultra reliable, exactly what Caleb Williams needs on the field. And then on the other side, his talent. It's also going to require a sizable deal. The team just drafted a future star in Robo Dunze at the position in the first round. So what does keeping him actually look like? And let's get into his value first. This story on Yardbarker, it sums this up quite a bit. Allen has been actually an extension of the coaching staff, and this is more prominent during this transition to Thomas Brown as interim head coach. Former wide receivers coach Chris Beatty, he's now the OC, and Keenan, he's just been a big help with that. And this is to hear from Beatty. Keenan could be a coach. Keenan is the smartest player that I've ever seen. He's the smartest football person, not just player. And I agree. Not only is Allen the smartest football person that Beatty has met through his 26-year coaching career, but he's also been absolutely integral in assisting this new offensive coordinator. So many changes to deal with, and this is a little more from Chris. Keenan Allen sees stuff different than the rest of us. He's a player head just like a coach would be. What he's done over the last 3 weeks since the initial changes, he's been kind of my conduit for those guys. So he runs the meetings in between while they're doing the special teams. He gets the offensive skills in there and does the meeting as well. He knows how I want it to look. So those guys have been joking that he's saying my sayings, which I'm good with that. If he's saying my stuff, that means he respects what I'm doing. And he's just so valuable on this team. And lately, the guy's been balling out. So you got to hand it to him. And let's also do something. Let's remind ourselves of something. The 12-year vet, he just had the best year of his career before coming here to Chicago, and that was with the Chargers, a career high 108 catches for 1,243 yards and 7 scores, career highs in every category. And it looks like I have a co-host. Hey, what's up? That's Dante. So hopefully he's going to be of a help during this show. But moving forward, I'm not sure we can fully judge him this year, though, since the Bears, so many offensive issues. The talent locker room is absolutely loaded, but the players were unfortunately held back by coaching, by front office decisions, and those were made before and during the year. Now we've got a core in place, a new head coach coming in the next season. We'll see how that shakes out. The players in the locker room seem prepared to fully run it back in 2025. And what we can do, what will give us a good guide, let's look at the last 3 games with Thomas Brown calling plays. I think that's fair. I think that's a good barometer for not only what's happening now, but for the future. So, guys, we're looking at 18 receptions for 200 yards, 3 scores, and that's over the last 3 games. We start with 4 catches for 41 yards against Green Bay, but then he has been on a nice little heater for the next 2 beyond that. 9 catches for 86 yards in the score. That's versus Minnesota. That's with a 40-yard gain, so a big play. Then we have the Detroit game. We're talking 5 catches for 73 yards, 2 touchdowns, and that's coming back from a 16-0 hole. And Caleb Williams, he connected with Keenan for scores of 31 and 9 yards on the Bears' first 2 possessions of the second half. And Williams later hit DJ Moore with a 31-yard TD. That's with 5:36 remaining in the game. That cut the deficit to 23-20. And then Allen, he was in it for this last season. After the Bears forced the Lions punt, Bears take over on their own 1 with 3:31 to play. Absolutely marched down to the Detroit 25, but then you had the 12-yard pass to Keenan. That was to the 13, nullified by a penalty on Tevin Jenkins for the illegal hands to the face. Just so bad. Then Williams was sacked for a 6-yard loss back at the 41. You guys know what happened then. Desperation pass deep down the middle for whatever reason. Time expired. We're not going to fully rehash that, but we're looking with Thomas Brown taking over. This is what Keenan Allen was supposed to be on this offense when he came to Chicago. This is what was expected. And now we're seeing it. And there's an issue here, though. He's going to turn 33 this April. What would it take to bring him back with already investing a 4th rounder to get him here? Big money getting here as well to finish out that LA contract. His contract runs out this year. But let's look at another great thing. The guy wants to be here. He believes in Caleb Williams as well. I know we aren't used to hearing that, right? A wideout actually wanting to be here because of our quarterback. But yeah, man, it's real talk. And Keenan Allen said he hoped to return to the Bears next season. And part of the reason why, that's Caleb Williams. And this is here directly from Allen. His potential is through the roof. You see that through the weeks. He's still having good games. His QBR, it's great. The turnover percentage, it's great. Just being about to do that and learning the defenses and the offenses at the same time, tough in itself, but I think the sky's the limit for his talent. So granted, right? This organization has to take a ton of ownership, and also there's work to do. This isn't going to be a channel where we keep talking about Eberflus. He's gone. It was a mistake keeping him here. With that mistake, Waldron gone as well, a Flus hire. But if you look at it, GM Ryan Poles, he brought in Thomas Brown. Many believe he did it as an insurance policy. It's been going around that he didn't get his way. He was against keeping Flus in the offseason. He wanted to get rid of him after the New England game. I mean, whatever. But the other thing that'll weigh into this decision, it's for Allen. It's the upcoming coaching staff that this team puts in place. Next season beyond, Allen spoke openly about the issues of former OC Shane Waldron. He's been very open about that. Former head coach Matt Eberflus. He also has a lot of respect for interim head coach Thomas Brown. Newly appointed offensive coordinator Chris Beatty is a guy that Allen has really spent a lot of time with in Los Angeles. He served in the same role during a lot of his years there. And all I know for sure, since Thomas Brown has been calling plays, Keenan Allen has been balling out. This offense is rapidly getting to the next level. And if you look at it objectively, and Windy City Gridiron provided this thought, I always want to give credit. It isn't a far reach to see that GM Ryan Poles, he really thought this team was ready to take another step this year. Granted, we all knew that we would need one more year to contend. We didn't think the wheels were going to fall off. We had receiver and offensive line. Those stuck out for the most work to be done over the offseason. What did we do? We fixed the receiver room. But I didn't really think that any of us believed that the O-line was going to be the worst in the league. I thought it was going to be middle of the road. It was shored up with really good, versatile talent. That's what it appeared to be. And one issue was that Waldron's scheme, just ridiculous. Going away from what's been working to a pure pass progression offense, just needlessly complicated, completely changed the blocking scheme for the offensive line. I'm not going to say that Poles did a bang-up job making this offensive line fantastic, but surely we thought that it was going to be middle of the road. Not with the injuries and the poor coaching from the offensive coordinator, just making the wheels completely fall off on this line. So not making excuses. The offensive line definitely does need to improve big time. But if you look at it objectively before the season started, nobody thought that we would be here. But now we've got Brown in charge, simplifying the offense, still staying within the scheme, showing that this scheme can work if it's simplified and surprise. Coaching matters, right? This line looks dramatically better as well. Not great, but definitely all right. Definitely passable. So this offseason, hit the trenches hard in free agency, hit it hard in the draft. We are close. Get the coach right. And if we can stack wins, not have moral victories moving forward, I'm a big fan of keeping Brown on if he can show that he can stack wins. And for the example, I don't want to hear injuries. I don't want to hear any excuses whatsoever, because you look at a far superior team like the Detroit Lions. They just had 13 guys go on IR on the defense. They still did not miss a beat. They are coached really, really well, and they pulled out that win against Green Bay. So don't give me excuses about injuries. So let's kind of look at what Allen would cost. We're not talking huge multi-year stuff. Some injury concerns, that heel, that still came up after he had the same problem in LA. So there are some concerns. Kind of looking for a benchmark. Maybe the best benchmark is Mike Evans, what he got at Tampa, right? Similar age. Although I think we'd all place Evans as probably a better receiver at this point, also slightly younger. But you're looking at Evans getting 2 years and $41 million this last offseason, 29 guarantee. I would generally think that Allen would fall into something less in a sporting, according to Spot Track. Allen's market value as an upcoming free agent, they have him placed about 2 years and $33 million, way less, a 16+ annual deal. I think that might be not an easy pill to swallow, especially when we're already paying DJ Moore 20+ million in each of the next 2 years. But we've also got an upcoming rookie wide receiver in Rome Odunze. It's probably only going to be a 2-year contract, so long-term cap flexibility is not really damaged. And the Bears have a surplus of cap space to work with. I think that might kind of get it done about the 33 range. The Bears sit at 80 million, or they might actually push to 100 million if the cap salary cap is increased, as it has been in previous years. I'm anticipating that, but at least 80 million. I think it can be done without long-term damage money-wise. The Bears can still get all their other needs met. And if he's that valuable in the meeting room, like we're hearing, he wants to be here. He's absolutely balling out under Coach Brown. Big-time leader. Value as a coaching extension, along with production, regardless of his age. Bring him back on a short-term deal. Then there's not a need to look for receiver help as well in the offseason, right? Run it back, move forward, keep some continuity where it's working. Just try to make it team friendly, though. You guys let me know what you think. Let me know who you want to target in free agency. And as we move towards 10,000 subscribers, do us a huge solid. Bless us by hitting the subscribe button. And I will look forward to giving you Chicago Bears news each and every day. See you guys later. Bear down.